This podcast is brought to you by all of our Anime Addicts community. If you want to help out the podcast, one way you can do it is by supporting our Amazon affiliates link. You can go to supporttheaddicts.com. You scroll down just a bit and click the link that's indicated on the page, and anything you buy off of Amazon within 24 hours of clicking that link will get the podcast a royalty. This is really adding up. I feel like we've hardly had anybody using the link, and we're already doing quite well with the Amazon link, but we could do so much better if you would just remember, supporttheaddicts.com before you buy anything on Amazon on your phone. You'll be giving the podcast a royalty and taking money out of Amazon's pockets. Just another way for you to contribute to the podcast without actually having to spend any money extra on your own. That's supporttheaddicts.com. And now time to start the show.
Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at AAApodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Well, welcome into the podcast, episode 670 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. And on March 26th, I'm your host, Mitsugi. I'm here to make your anime addiction worse. Along with my co-host, we have Caroline. Caroline, how are you doing?
Hi. I'm here to make your addiction worse, too.
Yeah.
I am doing pretty good. Got a blue moon here because we have a ton of them in the fridge. So I'm like, gotta help out. We gotta clear out the fridge, people.
Yeah, save the fridge.
I mean, it's for everyone, really. So yeah, doing pretty good. I am anticipating my trip to Amsterdam next week. Holy crap! So I'm so sorry you will not hear from me for a couple episodes. So I guess I'll annoy you as much as possible this episode.
We also
so you don't
have
miss me too much.
Mason. He's looking handsome. How you doing?
Oh, thank you. We'll let Caroline talk extra this episode just so she can get it all out of her system and people will get their fill, because no one wants to hear us talk.
They're here to hear me talk.
Exactly. Now you've got it.
And on the podcast today, I am enjoying more of my Roku gin. I actually poured 2 oversized shots up, a double shot.
Prepare for trouble.
Make it double. Shut up! You haven't had one useful thing to say since you got here.
Oh.
You finally found the drop. You were looking for that, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. I actually put 4 ounces of gin in this, which I looked it up, and that is actually almost 3 shots, so it's almost a triple, but we're calling it a double for the sake of the drop. Hey guys, we're gonna have a great show for you today. If you want to support the podcast, you can go to aapodcast.com/join or patreon.com. Support the show. You're gonna get 8 exclusive podcast episodes per month, because we give you a lot more than most podcasts would for a measly few dollars. You're going to get 8 podcast episodes for less than the cost of a Chipotle burrito. I mean, that is some pretty good value right there. And we're also on twitch.tv. You can watch us live Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/AAA podcast. Chitin, who's doing a great job with the social media, would want you to know we're on Twitter. We're on TikTok. You can find us on Facebook. We're on Instagram at official_AAA podcast. And, of course, you can join the Discord at AAADiscord.com. Listen, I want you to do something for me. Just pull your phone out right now, type into your browser AAA Discord, and click enter, and you'll be on the Discord. Just like before I even get to the big news, you will be a big deal because you'll be on the Discord with us. It'll be a lot of fun. AAADiscord.com. What are we doing on the show today? Busy bees. We're busy today on the podcast. Spring 2023 selections. We're going to go through. It's not an overly large season, so we're going to talk about most of the anime from the upcoming season and show you which ones we're going to be doing impressions on. Then there is simply so many new anime coming out that we had to do a hot new releases. So we're going to do a hot new releases segment for you later on, where we're going to let you know all the hot stuff that's coming out, all the hot sticky action.
Piping hot.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not make it sticky. That's
fresh
gross.
from the source. That's right. the stuff that's going to be coming out after the spring season. And then much later on the show, Uncle from Another World, the long-awaited
Yay!
review of the show that seems to never finish. Anything else, guys, before we get to the big news?
Nope, that's it.
大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
Well, I really had no big news, so I thought I would just talk about something fun. There are lots of gachapon machines all over Japan. You can find pretty much anything. There's just if you spend a day in Tokyo, it's impossible that you won't see one gachapon machine. They're all over the place. Gachapon is basically like capsule toys where you put like $1 in and you turn a thing and you get a random toy. It could be like one of your favorite One Piece characters, or in this case, and I quote, Grandpa's fuck it. Anything, whatever. Anything best 3. That is the translation as Mason holds up a gachapon toy that he himself has. And also Grandpa and Grandma's life wisdom. So these pictures are pretty funny. I can't talk about them and put the images up on Twitch, so I'll do that when Caroline gets to hers. But capsules that contain handwritten notes from old Japanese people, which is so fucking funny. So one of the notes says the life wisdom note. One of them, the example was, quote, family happiness comes from surrendering to your wife, end quote. It's just got it's got the faces of all the old people who wrote the notes on the cover of the gachapon machine, and it's pretty fucking funny.
Are these real people, or are they just saying they're from
They're
older
probably
people?
stock images.
I don't know, honestly, but the guy in the article got notes from a man named Noboru, who's 88 years old, and chose to share a few of his favorite top 3s, including his favorite top 3 actresses, top 3 things that he's proud of, top 3 things that I've become obsessed with, and top 3 failures, of which one of them was, quote, I'm too old, which is so sad.
I feel like that's a success, isn't it?
I don't know. And it also said, I'm too old. I want to play more. I want to live longer, which is the saddest thing. But it just goes to show that in Japan, for 200 yen, you can buy anything from a gachapon machine, including old people's hopes and dreams and regrets on handwritten paper. Oh, man.
I would rather have these than fortune cookies.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
if my fortune cookie came with a little note that was like, my dentures fell out today, and I couldn't reach them under the closet. Like, I'd be like,
Or how
"Oof."
about my biggest regret in life was never chasing after the woman of my dreams?
That is a big, that would be a legit regret.
Wouldn't that be sad? Like, you can be like,
Yep.
oh, and you just look at your Chinese food. I'm like, now I kind of feel bad.
The worst thing would be if you had the woman of your dreams and fucked it up, and then you regretted having fucked it up your whole life.
I never cherished my
man.
wife,
I never
and now she's gone.
gave her the appreciation she deserved or whatever. But it's just funny when you go to Japan, you'll see all this random insane shit.
My children do
and,
not talk to me anymore.
Never pass up the chance to use a public toilet. All the classics.
All right. Well, now Caroline, you're up. I'm gonna post this image of these gachapon machines on the Twitch because they're pretty funny.
Well, since a lot of our news that we really want to talk about is in the hot new anime releases, there wasn't like too much crazy fun stuff to talk about. I got a short one for you, and people are probably sick of me trying to talk about it. Suzume, the movie, Makoto Shinkai's new movie. It's been announced that the tickets are finally on sale, so you can go ahead and look up to see if there are going to be showings near you. There's going to be one near me. Wonderful. I should probably get my tickets soon because I know that it's very highly anticipated. So if you want to get, the most ideal date, if you want to get subbed or dubbed, if you want to get a decent seat, because the only ones that are going to be left are going to be the ones like in the front row, and you're going to be arching your neck, and you're not going to be able to see any of the beautiful
What are you talking
water
about?
animation or the doors or the chairs
Those
or
are
whatever's in
Middle seats. You can just look straight ahead and read. You don't have to pay attention to all the stuff going on. You just read.
Well, if you are interested in getting some tickets, the film opens in theaters in North America, the United Kingdom, and Ireland starting on April 14th. So yeah, I'm excited.
Soon.
Will you go see it, Mason?
Probably
The silence says everything. That's your answer.
Boo!
If people said
Oh
Who won?
it's
no.
really good, I would try to scramble and get a ticket. But no, this
You're
is
the
me being
movie
stubborn.
buff.
No one watched Inuo, and that made me sad. And
Are you gonna take it out on Makoto Shinkai now? It's like nobody saw Inu-Oh, so nobody should see you.
yeah, no. Weathering with You was just not a step in the direction I was hoping for. So he hasn't inspired confidence for me to pre-order. But maybe I should. Maybe I should.
I mean,
We'll see
I don't
how
know.
expensive they are.
Knowing me, I don't know if I'll pre-order or not, even though I know I should. But I never like to buy things when I don't know what my schedule's going to be like that week.
that's
So,
fair.
That's fair. That's fair.
but I know Mitsuki's probably not going to go see it. 'Cause
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like I'm just not overly convinced by Makoto Shinkai. You know, I don't. I think his movies are a lot of, again, beautiful visuals and not a tremendous amount of substance, at least recently. So, I mean, I still think his best movie was 5 centimeters per second. So,
Meh.
Words. That was
Yeah.
pretty good.
I've
and your
seen-
name was, despite the hype, solid.
Garden of
Was it
Words,
good?
aka Foot Fetish, the anime.
Yeah. Doesn't mean it's not good.
Well, you know,
Tarantino can survive despite it, so can Shinkai.
if the movie is great, I still won't see it.
But there's a funny cheer.
But I might watch
anyway.
it. I might watch it on Crunchyroll or something if it comes out. Mason, what do you got?
Well, besides the fact that I revealed huge spoilers on the video Twitch, my big news is about a little manga called Attack on Titan. You might have heard of it, but you might
So
not have
bad
read it.
News.
Yeah, I know. And you might be bummed that you have to wait so many more months for the final season. And maybe you're just sick of all your friends calling you a filthy anime only when you
What does that
could
mean?
Have an anime only?
An anime.
It's someone
only.
who's only seen the anime version of the
Oh.
material and not also read the light
Was that
novel
Oh,
or
suck
manga.
my balls. Is that a thing?
Did you-
Is that a
Yeah.
thing? Oh,
yes,
fuck.
I'm surprised you've never heard about
Honestly,
that before.
honestly, if somebody walked up to me on the street and called me an anime only, I would show them my balls.
Well, you don't
Challenge
need
accepted.
much prompting to do that anyway. So
Hey now.
It's true.
Um,
This is what
but
dreams are made of. Anyway,
I've already been kind of spoiled on the ending of Attack on Titan, just like
Well,
a
that's
little
fair.
bit. Like I know something, and I'm like, shit.
Well, maybe you're curious and want to read it, and you want to give it a chance, and maybe you want to support charity as well. But now is a great time to at least check out one of the things on this list, which is the Attack on Titan manga Humble Bundle, which is a great way to read all of it for a very cheap price. There's actually 3 tiers, a $5, $15, and $25 tier. The 25 of which includes not only all 34 volumes of Attack on Titan, but all the spin-off manga, light novels, and an exclusive art book.
Wait, Attack on Titan Junior High included?
Yes, everything.
Oh,
This is
Caroline's
a lot
in.
of content for a super cheap price. Not that, this guy needs any more money, but he did make something really cool.
How much is this guy
and-
worth?
he's gotten death threats. He can throw him a couple more dollars. He's
Yeah.
gotten death threats for his work.
And it goes to a good cause. You can read this on any device, and it has digital formats such as EPUB, PDF, and CBZ. And you can get on this until April 13th. And if you have a little bit of money left over, you can then go watch Suzume.
Hajime Isayama is only. Let's see, where is the richest people, richest mangakas? He's the 4th richest.
Wow.
Number 3 is
Well earned.
the guy that did Case Closed, Aoyama. 2nd place is Dragon Ball's Toei Toriyama, and of course number 1 is Oda from One Piece. But Isayama, he's still worth $25 million. I mean, that's pretty good. I would take
Not
it.
nothing.
Oh, nope, never mind. This is old. Isayama's net worth is estimated to be as much as $50 million. Damn.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I'm kind of annoyed with this tier system because if you can't get everything with just one tier, you have to get volumes 1 through 5 with the first tier, and then 6 through 20 with the second tier, and then the rest of it on the $25 tier. So you have to get all 3 tiers if you want.
I thought
You
no.
get
I
a
thought the
complete
last
collection.
one gets all of it. Like
No, the last one says
ones-
Attack on Titan volumes 21 through 34. So everything before that they don't get unless you go and get each individual tier, which, I mean, sure, you still get quite a few things that if, you don't care about having a complete set, but who doesn't want a complete set?
Yeah, you gotta get the whole set. No, I think 25 comes with everything.
I don't know.
I think you get the stuff below it. Check it out. I didn't do it, but you can, and read all about Attack on Titan before the finale.
I mean, the tiers are so
deluxe, super extreme, culminating whatever final episode they're calling it.
The tiers are so inexpensive. I mean, honestly, like,
Yeah, that's true. With how much you get for each tier,
it's ridiculous.
It probably costs hundreds and hundreds of dollars anyway.
I ate fucking breakfast yesterday at a restaurant in Denver and got a Bloody Mary with it. And it was just basic breakfast, and that cost me $32 for just me. That's more than both the first and most expensive tier combined. For the price of some corned beef hash and a Bloody Mary. God damn.
So there you go. If you like Attack on Titan and haven't read the manga, go check it out. But we can move on.
Oh, okay. Well, as we do every quarter, we are doing our reveals of the spring 2023 anime. The way we do this is we each pick our top 15, we roll dice, and we just go, round robin around the list and see who gets what. Everybody pretty much got their top pick. I was overly spoiled. I got all of my top 8. I got all my top picks except one. So I literally got exactly what I wanted. I don't know how that happens. I always pick first because I don't give that much of a fuck and I don't put much thought into it. And I don't know. I got lucky. So number one on my list here, we're gonna go through all of these, and I recommend we try to keep these to about 2 to 3 minutes max each because there's 21 of them. So
we always say that, but we'll see.
I know it's hard to stick to it, including for me. But given that there's so many, the first
Start
one
from the bottom, right?
I'm starting with my lowest priority. So Mahou Shoujo Magical Destroyers by Beebury Animation Studios, who did Quintessential Quintuplets Season 2, and Ikehata Hiroshi, the director of Tonikaku Kawaii. So we know this is going to be
your
a winner.
favorite.
Yeah.
Absolute unlock. You can pass it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you fucking know it. You know it. So, original material set in a dystopian future where otaku culture in Japan has been obliterated by a mysterious organization known as the SSC. Magical Girl Destroyers follows the adventures of the otaku hero, a young revolutionary who loves otaku culture and anarchy, blue and pink, blah, blah, blah. A trio of magical girls. Together, they struggle to create a world where you can say what you want about what you want as much as you like. That's what the synopsis says. And
wait, these magical girls are called Blue, Pink, and Anarchy?
I guess. And the PV was very loud. Lots of screaming girls. Lots of...
Sounds like it's for you.
It sounds like so I'm giving it a 10%. So I'm trying this again. I'm giving everything a percent chance to pass. This is just like a very loud and tropey looking trio of magical girls fighting for something, and it doesn't seem like my cup of tea exactly. We'll find out, but I expect this one's about a 10% chance to pass.
And yet it's number 8 on your list.
Well, this was not exactly a glowing season. There's like a bunch of sequels that we're not going to cover, and a bunch of trash.
Now, I'm assuming not, but were you able to get Pancake's opinions on your picks? Like usual?
I wasn't, and we talked about this on the phone earlier today, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry I couldn't give you my trash talk," and I was like, "You know what? It's okay. You're out of town." So, but
yeah,
she would have,
too bad.
She would have said something like, "Oh, these fucking magical girls again. This is just the same shit. Fuck." That's what she would say.
Can you give your
accurate.
Pancake impressions for each of yours?
I can try, but for now,
I will be surprised if it's above a 2.
you have to settle for that for now.
That's usually accurate.
I can try to give you my pancake impressions for each of them, though. Next, we'll go in a circle. We'll go to Mason next.
Yeah, I heard you mention Quintessential Quintuplets. Must be a big fan. This next one is for you then, Mitz. This is done by Tezuka Productions, who did the first season of the Quintessential Quintuplets. And this is essentially the Quintessential Quintuplets. So this show is called
More trash.
The Cafe Terrace and Its Goddesses. And it tells the story of Hayato, who's a Tokyo University student, and he hears that his grandmother has passed away, and he returns to his childhood seaside home to manage the cafe, and he hasn't been
Summertime
back in a
rendering?
while. Sort of, except instead of coming back to the island to solve a mysterious people-killing alien whatever, there's 5 strange girls working at the cafe who claim to be part of quote-unquote grandma's family. And we're gonna get a 5-girl harem again, everybody. Woo!
Oh
Yes!
my God.
I've been missing that.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
She watches the QQ movie and she's like, you got any more of that? Any more just
need my
ladies?
God, it's
Yeah.
another quintuplet.
Yeah. I don't think they're related this time, which is
Well, yeah,
I
fair
don't know
enough.
if that's better or worse, but yeah, it's a 5-girl harem. It's based on an original work by Koji Seo, who is a knack for writing really, really crummy romances. He did A Town Where
Nice.
You Live,
Damn.
Fuka, and this, which probably will be as generic and tropey as you could imagine. I originally had a different show in this pick, which was my number 12 slot, so I didn't get the best of luck. But this show at least seemed more interesting to hate on and is far more popular. So the Cafe Terrace and its goddesses will get, I don't know, a 3% chance of passing. Do
3%.
not have high hopes.
There's a lot of
All right.
there's a lot of 5-person harems. Like, isn't even like Love Hina It's got to. I'm trying to think. There's the little girl, the girl who hits everybody, the blonde girl, the really tan girl. There's got to be at least 5 girls in Love Hina.
At least 5, yeah.
And then there's like Happy Lesson. There's a ton of these. Yeah. To be a harem, you need to have at least 5. I think that's kind of the standard.
Interesting.
I think Nisekoi was about that too, but man, we'll see.
Caroline's up. Next up is
All right.
Caroline.
So the show on the bottom of my list, I had to go down to my
The
13th
bottom.
pick. To my 13th pick on my list for my number 7. And it is called Jijo wo Shiranai Tenkose ga Gui Gui Kuru. Or my clueless first friend. This
What?
one,
It's a fucking terrible
Okay.
title.
I didn't.
Jesus
I much
Christ.
prefer the one where you have to say
Ugh.
Gui Gui Kuru. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Christ.
Okay, so here's the synopsis. One lonely, gloomy 5th grade girl is the target of her friend's relentless bullying and teasing. That is until a new kid arrives on the scene. Hey, friendly Takada is as clueless as he is well-meaning. But somehow, he possesses the magic ability to start drawing Grim Reaper Nishimura out of her shell. As the elementary schoolers experience all the fun of a childhood summer together, from going to the pool to picking sunflowers to
God.
watching fireworks. An
God.
unusual friendship blooms,
Please do
Mitsugi.
not pass this.
I did say it was at the bottom of my list. I just was filling it out.
Why does every slice of life anime have to have a fucking fireworks display?
Because it's summertime and
It's
what
so
else do you
fucking
do?
cliche. Like, holy shit.
Okay, so you're gonna have a
God.
an anime take place over the summertime, and you're gonna do not a summery thing. They're gonna go skiing during their summer break. Mitsuki, is that what you want?
How about like
Skiing?
there's a trillion things you can do during the summer. I don't know. Do something different.
How many of
Well,
those involve wearing
do you
a
really-
yukata and going through and eating
I
the
don't
food stalls
give a fuck.
and playing the games? They gotta scoop the goldfish.
Listen, okay, so automatically it's gonna be with like elementary school students, so it's kind of strange that I would find anything interesting in this. But it could be cute, it could be harmless, and I'll give it a shot, and maybe I can recommend it if it's cute enough for like, I don't know, people with kids or something like that.
Okay.
So this is based off a manga by Studio Signpost, a very strange studio name, whose scarce work includes seasons 3 and 4 of Kingdom and Oda Cinnamon Nobunaga.
Oh God.
And Kingdom apparently slaps, so I
Kingdom.
should give that
Yeah,
a shot.
Kingdom is hot stuff apparently, but Odo Nobunaga is cinnamon.
But they have like maybe 5 or 6 things on their my anime list page, but those
Got
are the
him.
only 2 things that I really recognize. So yeah, I don't have like high hopes for this one, but I'm hoping that it'll at least be cute enough to recommend for somebody who just needs something on TV with their kids.
Next up, Isekai de cheat skill o te ni shita ore, or something like in reincarnated in another world with my cheating skills or some shit. Millie Pensy, who is honestly, besides having a terrible name, is honestly one of my least favorite studios. Because all they've done is trash. They did the new Berserk anime, which everybody hates. They did Reincarnated as a Spider, which seemed to be going nowhere. Seemed to be going nowhere, and I failed it, and I never heard a single thing about it ever again. And then they've done a ton of moe shit. So, although by director Shin Itagaki, who's done a lot of stuff, although a lot of it's not good. Black Cat, Devil May Cry, which is a horrendous anime, and Bento, which people do.
Hell yeah!
People
Love
do like
Bento.
A mysterious door stands open, inviting a boy who's been brutally bullied all his life to take a courageous step towards the unknown. And on the other side, he finds a horde of priceless artifacts and a world as filled with magic as it is with monsters. Sounds like an isekai. The most shocking revelation, however, is that he can bring whatever he wants back with him when he returns to Earth. It won't be long before his double life changes him forever. This is basically like every isekai you've ever seen.
80K.
It's every isekai you've ever seen crossed with Spirited Away, which is like bullied kid gets sent to another place, finds personal growth in this other place, then returns to their regular life and, is a different person. It just looks amazingly run-of-the-mill compared to the PV. Probably the main... They're just like exploring every crevice of variability in the isekai genre, and so for this one, he can go back to Earth, I guess. But it doesn't really seem to be bringing a lot more to the table. I am the Isekai champion. I'm giving this one a 30% chance to pass, so a little better.
That's a pretty high chance,
actually. Well, 30% is not that likely if you really consider it.
I mean, it's not likely, but still, it's a pretty good chance.
Yeah, well, pretty good. Now, if Pancake was here, she'd be like, wow, another fucking black-haired protagonist. I bet he's got a small cock. That's what she would say. I bet he's got... That's small PP energy right there. Okay.
I feel like you need to show her what you impress her as and see if it's accurate, if that's what she would say.
This one could be okay. I mean, some of these isekais, they either end up being bad or they randomly end up being huge hits, So we'll have to see, but... It's... I don't know. It's possible. Next up, I think Mason's up.
Yeah, I am surprised that this show made it onto my list because I put it near the bottom because I didn't want to have to talk about it again. I figured someone else would get it. But unfortunately...
Why?
But I put it at the same place as you.
I know
so
you did.
Because you had the higher role, you had the honor of watching it for me.
Well, we'll see what we think of it. But we have season 2 of The Ancient Magus's Bride.
Why?
Done by Studio Kafka, kind of by ex-Studio Wit employees. I don't think they're a subsidiary. I don't know exactly how it works based on the very popular manga streaming on Crunchyroll. I don't think I mentioned that the Cafe Terrace one, that will also be on Crunchyroll. But anyway, Ancient Magus Bride continues the story of Chisei Hattori, who is living a pretty crummy life, if we're being honest, when a tall man with the head of a beast obtains her through everyone's favorite slave auction. They go on some supernatural...
Slaves?
Yes.
Yeah, she was a
Again
slave.
with the slaves.
Well, this one did it a
OG
while
slave.
ago, so it's kind of...
Before it was trendy.
Yeah.
And they go on these supernatural, sometimes romantic, sometimes violent, sometimes a mix of both adventures. And I was pretty mixed on season 1 of Ancient Magus Bride. I didn't care enough to watch the 2021 OVA. Yes, it was very strong in what its potential was, and it has its fans, but I just felt like it was off-kilter in a lot of aspects. Particularly the relationship between the two leads were just something I never got into. And over the course of 24 episodes that was season 1, they kind of repeated the same character arc over and over, and it was like at the pace of a retirement home cafeteria line. It just dragged so slow.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm hoping this season can kind of act as a fresh start and be the quality show that is in there somewhere. I just don't think was delivered the first time around. So I give it maybe a 20% chance of passing. At best, I think what I will say is that It's a solid show for fans of season 1, but there's really not value in rehashing it. But hey, we'll give it a
And
shot.
I didn't
Open
see
mind.
Ruth in the trailer.
Ruth!
Best boy.
God.
We'll see. If anyone has seen the OVA and is like, Mason, it's a must-watch thing, let me know. But I don't think it will pertain, so I wasn't planning on it. So
I mean, I thought the
there you
OVA
go.
was better than the first season. I didn't really like the first
They
season
often
as much
are.
as the OVA.
Look, if you
But-
want like relaxing Iyashike shit, go take a hot bath. Okay.
Not everybody wants to bath, Mitzi. Not everybody has a bath.
Some people should bath though. They should bath. Who's next?
Okay.
Caroline's up.
Me. Okay, so my number 6 pick is number 12 on my overall list. So I'm still pretty far
Jeez.
down there.
You got fucked.
It'll get better.
I hope
promise.
so.
But yeah, this one is Otonari ni Ginga, which is a galaxy next door. Ever since their father died, Ichiro Kuga has struggled to support his 2 younger siblings on nothing but a small inheritance and a passion for drawing manga. But it's becoming harder to keep up with his growing responsibilities and deadlines, especially after his last 2 assistants quit to follow their dreams. Just as he's nearing his breaking point, the beautiful and scarily competent Shiori Gokshiki applies to become his new assistant. But there's something almost otherworldly about Goshiki, and soon Kuga finds his reality turned upside down when she suddenly declares them engaged to be married. That really got turned on its head in that last few words. If it wasn't for this sudden realization, oh my god, they're gonna get married, I think this would be higher on my list, to be honest, but just that plot point sounds really stupid. I think it's supposed to be supernatural. I think that Shiori has like superpowers or something like that because of that tag. It's based on a manga by Asahi Production, who did Heaven's Design Team and Giant Beast of Ours recently. So that's that doesn't give you a lot of hope.
Nah.
I don't know. I mean, based on the rest of it, it kind of sounds cute, like, you know, Kakushi Goto thing, you know, gotta draw the manga and support your family and all that stuff. Maybe I'm
nuts.
wrong. Maybe this engaged to be married plot point is not stupid at all, but awesome, and I don't know my shit. But I hope I'm wrong, because I only have 5 other choices based on that. So that is my number 6 pick.
Well, as the person that's digging down into the deepest part of the dungeon to get your picks, may God have mercy on your soul.
Thanks.
All right, next up is my number 6 pick, because I'm apparently 6 picks ahead of you. I don't know how this happened.
I really don't know either.
I
thought I
even
had a good
care.
chance of getting my stuff.
I just pick whatever, because I know between the 3 of us, we're going to have everything covered. Kawaii Sugi Crisis. Kawaii Sugi.
I got you to put this one on your list, I think.
Kawaii Sugi basically means it's too cute, essentially. Anytime you put Sugi on the end of a adjective, it means it's too much of whatever the adjective is. So, like, Atsusugi is too hot, for example. By studio Synergy SP, which is a studio that you never hear about, but they've actually done a lot of sports anime, which is weird. They did pretty much all of Major, which is one of the best sports anime I've ever seen. And they did the 5th and final stages of Initial D, and they've done a bunch of other stuff. Lisa Luna is an alien who wants to destroy Earth, but the planet has a plethora of good things, and it would be a pity for her not to check it out. So Earth is spared from destruction, and the alien starts to wander around different places. She sounds like she's just bad at her job, honestly. She's like Goku, except doesn't have the excuse of amnesia. So soon, Lisa finds a cat cafe, and where she will encounter creatures that are beyond her understanding. Now, there's something very alarming about this PV that I watched. So I'm posting a picture in the Twitch. It's based on a manga. The studio just does not know how to draw a cat's paw. Like, look at that paw. It looks like it looks like Anpanmon's head. It looks like a piece of toast.
It looks like a piece of toast.
Yeah, that is not what a cat's paw looks like, people. Look where the dew claw is. It's just, I don't know. It's just a little too, I don't know. It's just really bizarre looking
Those are
paw.
some messed up toe beans.
This is, the toe beans are fucked up, but it does alarm me that the studio that's making an anime about cute cats can't draw a cat's paw. Why don't you go get a fucking cat, bring it into the studio, make it the studio pet, and study its goddamn anatomy before you make this fucking trailer. Sorry, just like
Where's Mako? We need a demonstration.
Honestly, the main paw part just looks like a Mr. Potato Head nose.
Your goddamn job is to draw a cat. Why don't we study what a cat actually fucking looks like? It's just very frustrating. Anyway, so this is basically just a dumbass cute anime. It's I don't know what to make of it really. Like, are they just gonna? Is she just gonna like ogle cats for like 10 episodes? By the way, when you go to Japan, people listening, you should go to a cat cafe because they are pretty fun. There's also like all kinds of other cafes. There's like puppy cafes, owl cafes, and all these different cafes, and they are kind of interesting and usually fairly inexpensive. So I definitely recommend it. I mean, it's who the hell doesn't want to like sip coffee while they like watch 15 cats run around a room?
If there was one type of animal cafe you could go to, not saying one that actually exists, a cafe with any animal you wanted.
Panda Cafe.
That's what I was thinking. And not just because we watched Akiba Maid War recently.
I was gonna say ducks.
Oh, that would
that'd be
cute.
pretty good.
Oh no, ducks would probably attack you for the food though.
You could just make your own duck cafe. I watched a YouTube video that was telling you how to pick up a duck. So you can just collect them. The government doesn't want you to know this, but you can just bring ducks inside.
Oh, what about foxes? A fox cafe.
What does the fox say?
What does the fox cafe?
Ring ding 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 ding.
Moving on.
Yeah. Don't let swans and geese give ducks a bad name, though. Ducks are like these peaceful little sweet animals, and geese and swans are like little motherfuckers that shit everywhere and bite you. So don't be fooled. Anyway, I give this one a 25% chance, and
25?
25. And Pancake would say like, "Oh, fuck, I love cats. Like, I'd fucking pet the shit out of some cats. Fuck yeah." That's what she was saying.
Ooh, 25 seems high, but I guess I didn't watch the PV, so maybe
25 is not high. I got 7 anime.
That's a 1 in 4 chance.
I did the math on this before I did this. Like my selections add up to 200%. Okay, and I can't give.
Because they seem high because you're giving this cat show a 25%
Moving on.
Moving
and it's
on.
going to be nothing more than a slice of life comedy, if anything.
It's going to be the longest podcast episode we've ever had.
You will never pass that. You'll never pass a slice of life.
My next pick is Skip and Loafer. Tells the story of student Iwakura Mitsumi, who has always dreamt about leaving her small town and going to a prestigious university and making a positive change in the world. But she's so focused on reaching her goals that she's not prepared for the very different city life that awaits her in Tokyo. Can this naive country girl make it big in Tokyo? Buckle up, boys. We got another coming-of-age story.
Yay!
Yay!
Woo!
We haven't seen these 1,000 times before. But
I also had this on my list right next to you, but you caught it.
Well,
so.
yeah. Once again, I just beat you out. Got lucky.
God.
As always, this show is going to live or die based on the strength of the characters and the writing, and we'll see. It's done by PA Works, who is kind of on a comeback. They killed it with Akiba Maid War. They killed it with Ya Boy, Kong Ming.
Yeah, boy!
It's your boy.
Yeah, the trailer looks nice.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
the art
not
style.
great visually. Like, it's very simple. It's not going to wow anyone, but
Oh,
it seems like
there's something nice in simplicity.
Exactly. If you know what you're going into, it might hit that note well. And even Buddy Daddies by PA Works has been surprisingly solid this season. So this is directed by Kotomi Dai, who did the most recent seasons of Natsume's Book of Friends. Positive sign. So I don't know. I think this is going to be very quickly in your wheelhouse or not, but it looks decent. We'll see what happens. I guess I'd also give it like a 20% chance of passing.
Nowadays, the coming of age story is, oh, you're 13. Here's your cell phone. Now you can spend 90 minutes a day on TikTok. Good job.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah. By the way, PSA, I hope they ban the fuck out of TikTok. All right, Caroline, you're up.
Okay, but also PSA, you're the one who also liked several TikToks that I've sent to you. So.
Oh, I hate TikTok. I hope it goes immediately.
But you liked the videos I sent
But the
to you.
literacy rate in the U.S. is up like a 50-year low.
But that has nothing to do with
It
another
absolutely
stupid
does.
social media
Yeah,
app.
it does
There's
because
social
people.
media apps for years
It
that
does.
have been as
Nope.
possible.
TikTok is not years old. It's like 3 years old. And
No, I'm talking about there are several social media apps that have been as popular for years. So it's not just a TikTok thing. Another one will appear, Mitsuki. Don't you worry.
Well, there's a good reason why they're thinking about banning it. Next. And
I mean, I'm not saying.
And
if there
now I
isn't,
make a note
but-
about things I can't talk about on the podcast.
Okay, let's get into my number 5 pick. That was number 7 overall on my list. Yamada-kun to level 999 no koi wo suru. Otherwise known as Loving Yamada at level 999.
Why do
So
you
here's
have the most
synopsis.
dramatic names? Or maybe you just read them the most dramatically.
That could be the case, yes.
But I like it.
Okay.
Keep it up.
After her boyfriend cheats on her with another girl he met in game. Oh, asshole. Piece of shit.
Yes,
Akane
trash.
Kinoshita.
Trash anime, yes.
Akane Kinoshita learns the hard way that gamer boyfriends can be just as bad as the offline variety. As she vents her anger by beating mob monsters to a pulp, she has a chance encounter with Akito Yamada, a guildmate with an afro and a no mask. I'm not sure what that is. Yamada is What? Do you have an answer?
Well, yeah, it's a traditional mask that they wear during no performances, which is probably a white mask.
NOH mask.
Yeah,
in
NOH.
case you want to look it up.
I looked that up. Let's see if it's white.
Okay. Yamada is unsociable and
white.
curt. Hardly the type of person to make Akane swoon. However, while his gaming stats might be maxed out, Yamada is inexperienced in matters of the heart. And, against all odds, she finds herself moved by him. Making new friends along the way, can Akane shake the heart of Yamada, a final boss level high school boy?
God.
Can't wait to find out.
How do you keep... Is this an Otome game?
No, it's a video game show. Kids playing
It's an
probably a
Otome
VR MMO
gamer.
video game.
But not an
It
Otome
just
game.
seems like Caroline picks a lot of anime where there's like a final boss type character or some shit in it. How does this
And
keep
I know,
happening?
And that boss is romance.
Yeah, the boss is the boyfriend.
Yeah. I can see where you might get that assumption. So this is based on a manga. It's by Madhouse, and it's going to be directed by Asaka Morio, the director of Chihaya Furu, Nana, and My Love Story. So this seems right at home.
That's a strong lineup.
maybe this video game romance could be good. I'm hoping for it.
That list of anime you just said is pretty fucking strong. So
Yeah.
even My Love Story is
Counterpoint,
pretty good.
I've seen gamers, and that was trash. So
Fair enough.
Gamer romance,
Fair enough.
delete.
No, but there have been other like MMO Junkie. That was good.
Moving
you don't
on.
think so?
Next up is my. I'm doing pretty good here. I'm on number 4 now. This is my number 4 pick. Working for God in a godless world. Kaminaki Sekai no Kami-sami Katsudo. Oh boy, what do we got here? So, synopsis. I was done by Studio Palette, which I don't fucking know what this studio is. They haven't done dick, probably. Yukito's parents are the leaders of a cult.
I'm the
Why
one
is
who
that
told
funny?
you about this. I'm the one that put this on your list.
Oh, okay. I don't fucking remember. I'm old.
Yeah, this was during after party last week.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just happy I can
absolutely
wipe my.
sold it to him.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that I can wipe my own ass still and that I don't shit myself. That's really the bar for me at the moment. After he gets sacrificed, he gets reincarnated into another world. Oh my god, where religion doesn't exist and porn books are akin to a child's doodles. Got
Maybe
him.
Mitts who write these
Got him.
gotcha things of old people.
Yes, that's
the
what
second
I was
time I've unplugged my
thinking.
headphones in one episode by leaning back too far in my chair. He finds that it's also a world where your life and death is decided by the country. What? While obstructing his friend's execution, both of them lose their lives. And just at that moment, the god of his religion comes to their world and revives them. Based on a manga, yet another isekai anime. To be honest with you, I only made it 30 seconds into this PV before I shut it off.
Oh, well, that's hopeful. Why did you put it so high on your list then?
Because I don't watch.
He didn't watch the PV until
God.
2 minutes ago.
I worked 60 hours last week. You think I'm going to watch 40 minutes of PVs?
You can
Fuck
always
no.
change. Okay, I guess.
I don't give a motherfuck. You guys are going to pick all the good shit anyway. I don't care.
But
That's why I have you. Remember
the
you're smarter
points
than
at
me.
the beginning that got you excited.
Nobody,
Cult,
no one.
sacrifice,
Listen.
porn.
Listen.
Doodles.
Listen.
Doodles.
I'm talking to all the listeners out there.
guy.
I'm talking to the 10 or 20. I don't know how many thousands of listeners we have. I have no idea. But if you're putting your faith in me to pick the right shows, abandon all hope. You're wrong. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just picking shit. Okay? So, but I only made it 30 seconds into this PV. Doofy music, slapstick Looney Tunes tone, horrific CG, and etchy scenes, and I'm out. I give this one a 2. I put this one at 2%.
Oh, but the synopsis at the start was so good.
Speaking of good, this gin, it ain't bad, and it's gone. I've already consumed almost 4 shots of this
3
gin
shots
today. It's
of gin.
whatever, 3 and a quarter. It's pretty good.
Are you gonna refill in the news break?
I might. Gin has
Oh,
like
God.
this gin is very fragrant, and I appreciate it for the fragrance that it has. And Lady Emery has good taste. Next
Next up, we have Blue Orchestra, another blue show.
no,
Oh my goodness, but I like the blue shows. The blue shows are good.
I'm blue.
Ba-ba-dee-da-boo-da.
What does he say? Do you guys subscribe to the belief that he's saying if I was green I would die?
What?
I don't think so.
You never heard that?
It
I
ain't easy.
I heard that being a joke, but I don't think that's the actual.
It ain't
No, it's
easy
not
being
absolutely not what it
green.
is. The Blue Orchestra tells the story of Hajime Aono, who's a prodigy violinist until he grows tired of playing and he kind of quits. In his
Loser.
third year of middle school, he is just struggling to decide his academic path, and he meets Ritsuko Akine, a novice violinist who wants to enroll in a high school with a distinguished orchestra club. And my guess is she's going to rope him into joining.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Never heard of a
cool.
plot like that before.
Hey, better than Save the Club plots. And hopefully they go on and play orchestra. And that would be pretty darn cool. So this is done by Nippon Animation, who did 2 of the most disappointing shows of last year, Love All Play and Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
Oh,
So
great.
not a great start because the PV is also full of big crowd CG shots.
I thought you were gonna say.
is not for
I
everyone.
thought you were gonna say
Why
big
would
titties.
you put that in the PV though?
Oh, where are the
Yeah.
big titties?
If you're here for the grand, visually lush performances of orchestration, go watch Kyoto Animations like Liz and the Bluebird or Sound Euphonium or any of that stuff, because it's probably going to look super jank here. That said, it's based on a manga, TBD on the streaming site, so no news on where you can watch this.
No high dive. No high dive.
We'll see. We'll see.
Hopefully high dive. Hopefully high dive.
No, fuck you.
So I have
just
my
kidding.
hopes. I like
know,
the
me
blue
too.
shows. I hope we get a mix of Blue Period and Blue Giant on this one. And the manga won the 68th Shogakukan Award for excellence. So there's some good source material. And it is directed by Seiji Kishi, who has done some really fun stuff, such as
Yeah.
Asobi Asobase, and some not good stuff like Classroom of the Elite, but some good stuff like Tsukigakure, and some not some good stuff like Assassination Classroom, and some good stuff. Like, he's just so back and forth. Like, he does some
Hold your
really
tongue.
good things. You heard what I said.
I heard it, but you're wrong.
He's all over the place. I have no idea what to
Yeah,
expect
he
from
does
this
sound
show.
all over the place.
Yeah, Blue Orchestra. Music?
Bleh.
Yeah, we'll see. That's
When are we gonna get it?
Blue period
No.
plus Your Lie in April, perhaps?
we'll give it 25% chance. My
Well-
guess is it's going to sound nice, but look, blah.
When are we gonna get an anime called Blue Balls? Come on. It could be.
It's about time.
It could be some unbelievable trash anime.
You
Let's
know,
be honest.
I
honestly,
mean,
it's-
we already have Gintama, which is similar, but just
All right, look.
silver.
I'm talking to you and you and you and you. You tell me.
Aotama.
You tell me. I don't like to watch trash anime. It's embarrassing. You say, "Oh, I don't like to watch trash anime because I don't like watching ecchi," and you say, "I don't like to watch trash anime because it's unrealistic." You're all fucking lying. You all love it. Give me Blue Balls the anime. Actually, we'll call it Blue Balls the animation.
No. Okay, I got a better
Classy.
idea. We need a Shark Tank with an anime called Blue Balls, and I want everyone to come up with their best plot with that title, and then we can have a blue ball themed anime
Yeah.
Shark Tank episode.
That's one way to do it.
If you show me an anime called Blue Balls the Animation, I'll show you a number one choice.
What does
Caroline,
that mean?
you're up.
What does that mean?
It means I would pick it.
Oh. Okay. I thought that was a
What
euphemism.
the fuck else would it mean?
I don't know.
I'll show
say
you my
weird
number
things
one
that mean
choice.
gross things.
I'll show you my blue balls.
We've already seen them technically. Okay. Okay, my number 4 pick is
Do I hear a
number
phone
6
ringing?
Overall. Yes, that is the phone in my house. And nobody's home at the moment, so
You
you're
have
going to
a
have to deal
landline?
with it. Yes!
Unbelievable.
Okay, landline.
Who the fuck has
Who
a
cares?
landline phone? Now I don't know if I want to take that out or not because it's just hilarious.
No, keep it in. And
Should I wait a moment until it
His
rings
fucking
out?
landline
Nobody's
phone
gonna
is
pick it up.
ringing. Oh my goodness. We'll
Yeah,
decide
Twitch will
later.
see me like taking off my headphones, like looking around, like, is that me? Like, where's this coming from?
Fun fact, the voice on the answering machine is a recording of my voice on the old answering machine back
Oh my
when I was like
God.
12. So my mom told me to do the answering machine message at like 11 or 12 years old. And then we got a new phone. So she recorded my old message onto the new phone. And yeah, it looked,
I'm
it sounds
calling
a little
your house
grainy.
Oh,
right
I'm
now,
calling your house right
'cause I
now.
know
What's your
you
phone
won't-
number?
I know you won't pick it up, and we'll get to hear Lil Caroline.
You guys made
Oh,
fun
where's
of
my adapter?
landline. So
Where's
guess
my
Thank
fucking
you
what?
for
adapter?
calling the abode of Caroline.
No, it's
Me
so
and my
cringy.
friends are not here right now, but if you leave a name and number, you can be. Oh no, I was too late.
No, the thing is that I had initially messed up the message, and so I just decided to play it off like as a joke, like, and I did like a and kind of just like it sounded really silly, so I just played with it, and so that's the one she kept. I'm like, I kind of want to redo that actually.
Listen, listen.
And it's been our answering machine message for like 2.5 or 1.5
That's
decades.
character.
Listen, I just have to say something. I was gonna pipe you into the phone and call your house live on the podcast, but I can't
You don't
find
know
my
my number,
fucking horse shit Apple Flash, whatever the fuck adapter it is that they call it nowadays. I have to have a goddamn adapter to get this thing to hook up into my phone so I can hook you into the soundboard. So it's
But
Apple's
also,
fault.
I'm not going to send you my home phone number, so you wouldn't
It's
be able to do that
Apple's
anyway.
fucking fault that you didn't get to hear Caroline's answering machine. So there you go. Who's up?
Thanks,
Too bad.
Apple.
It's me. Okay,
Fuck.
my number 4 pick, and then I was interrupted by the phone, remember? My number 4 pick, overall 6th, is Kanojo ga koshakute ni ita ryu. The reason why Raeliana ended up at the Duke's mansion. So,
Bow
let me
chicka
say
wow
something.
wow.
Actually, no.
Oh.
So here's the thing. I think my spring picks for this year is going to be, just known by 2 genres. It's going to be known by its romance, and it's going to be known by its
Oh my god.
murder. Because for whatever reason, my picks include a lot of romance and a lot of murder. So let's get started with the murder part of my picks. So this main character's name is actually Korean, so I might pronounce it wrong, so I'm sorry.
Something Park. Come on. Hook me
Well,
up.
yeah. When
Yes,
Park
am I right?
Uinha, her last name's Park, I guess.
Oh
Park
my
Uinha.
god, I am the smartest man alive.
Yeah, wonderful. She dies in modern-day Korea. She awakens in the body of Raeliana Macmillan, the eldest daughter of a nouveau riche baron. However, this is no ordinary world. It's the exact same one as the novel she once read. I know, isekai. Beloved by her family, it would seem as though she was in a fairy tale. But Raeliana is far from the main character. She is a mere plot device whose murder at the hands of her fiancé instigates the entire story. Raeliana has no intention to accept her fate quietly, though. She sets her eyes on someone in a position of great power. The Vio, is that how you pronounce it? Vio-rich male protagonist, Duke Noah Volstaire Winknight.
The fuck? Wind
These
Knight?
Goddamn names.
Win Night. W-Y-N Night. K-I or K-N-I-E. I can't even spell. K-N-I-G-H-T. So
Jesus,
she's aiming
that's like
to
a second grade
complete-
vocab word. Just so you know.
Whatever.
Fort
She's
Caroline.
aiming to completely change the original story. Using her knowledge of future events, Raeliana offers information to Noah on the condition that she acts as her fake fiancé. But the Duke's two-faced nature throws a wrench into her plans. So this, Mitsuki looks so excited at the prospect of this being a possibility.
Why? I just want to know why.
I don't know. I kind of, you know me. We mentioned this
God.
before. I like these kind of stuff. The Otome game,
I understand.
romance,
I
isekai
understand.
things.
I just, all I want is some balance. Like, I want, like, let's get some zombie animes or something. There's a lot of, like, romance, slice of life shit, and
You know what? I
I'm
know
not-
a great zombie anime. It's called School Live.
God.
Gakogarashi.
I'm not saying that you're picking a lot of shit like that. I'm just saying anime is not offering this content.
I know.
I'm very
But
sad
that's
about
why
it.
you have to watch Gakogarashi instead.
I've already seen that. There's only like 5
Okay.
anime that contain zombies. You realize that?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Okay,
for
well, this is
interrupting.
based on a web manga, and it's by Typhoon Graphics, which has done nothing that I'm familiar with. And the highest scored one on their list was, Suddenly Egyptian God. That was the highest
Jesus.
ranked
It's so
anime
cute,
they've
though.
ever
Oh my
done.
God.
I like Egyptian God.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
I
that
like
gives me
pizza.
a little hope. So,
There's pizza in Egyptian God.
Pizza?
Wonderful.
They didn't eat pizza in Egypt.
In the show, they did. They're gods. They can eat pizza if they want.
Yeah, I guess so. They would never gain weight either.
well, anyway, I put this high enough because I tend to like this kind of stuff at least a little bit. Had I
Gosh.
known it's by a manga or by a studio that's done hardly anything, I would have probably placed it a little bit lower. But I don't know. This could be fun, and so that's it. That's my number 4 pick.
It's a good thing this review today that we're doing is a nothing burger because we're going so long.
Who cares?
God,
Who
that
cares?
this anime we're gonna review sucks so much ass. It just does fucking terrible. Mashal is next on my list. This is my number 2 pick, I think. I have no idea why. By Studio A1 Pictures, which is at least a name you know. To everyone in his magic-dominated world, the young and powerless Mash is a threat to the gene pool and must be purged. Living secretly in the forest, he spends every day training his body, his sugoi kinniku. This is strong enough to compete with magic itself. However, upon having his identity exposed and his peaceful life threatened, a la, what is that fucking movie where they're like vacuuming up people's eyelashes and shit? Oh God, what is that fucking movie called? Mason, help me. Mash
Their
begins.
eyelashes?
Oh my God! It's a movie where like the guy's going to school in secret and they like find him because they vacuum up some of his eyelashes off of a railing.
Oh, like 21 Jump Street?
Oh my God! I'm never gonna think of this movie's name.
I'll try to look it up for you.
Mash
Keep on
begins
going.
to become a journey, becoming the quote divine visionary. And so, in order to maintain his peaceful life, the magicless Mash enrolls in the prestigious Easton Magic Academy, competing against the children of some of the most powerful and elite in his realm. Lacking the very skill needed to survive at Easton, which is magic, Mash already appears to be at a disadvantage to his fellow classmates. In order to achieve his goals, Mash will have to fight his way through every trial using his fists alone, overcoming magic with Sugoi Kinniku. All for the illustrious title of Divine Visionary, based on a manga. And,
So, Black Clover?
I don't know. That they scream too much in an anime. What the hell is this movie called?
I have no idea. I Googled everything that has to do with vacuums, eyelashes, and movies.
Come on, fucking Twitch, help me out here. So I give this a 40% chance of passing. Galaga. Is it Galaga? Oh, Galaga. Galaga movie. Gattaca. Nailed it. Good movie. Everybody should watch it. Gattaca. Fucking dope.
Yeah,
From,
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you should. From 1987. You'll like it, Mason. So This anime looks fun. It's kind of like seems like a shonen fighting type of show. The only thing about it that's annoying is that the character designs are obnoxious. They have like this stupid line art coming out of their eyeballs, and I just hate it. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. And it has a pretty good chance of passing because it just seems like a lot of fun. And that's about all I got.
And it's Strong Boy.
And he's a strong fucking boy. His name's Mash.
Yeah.
Come on.
Strong Boy good.
You're up, Mason.
Yeah, so I think you actually skipped 1 minute, but we can circle back on that one later.
Oh, fuck. I hope not, because this topic will last for 400 years.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
What happened to Dead Mount Death Play?
Oh, my God.
Oh, did he?
This is going to go...
That's
this is going to be like a 4-hour... This is going to be a 4-hour podcast.
Okay.
Who cares? They're going to listen anyway.
Heavenly Delusion is my next pick, and this one has a 40% chance of passing. It looks pretty cool. It's a seinen post-apocalyptic sci-fi kind of thing where these little kids are raised nursery style by robots, and the outside world is just a hell space that are inhabited by weird supernatural beings. That sounds cool. That sounds different. That sounds fun. And it's done by Production IG, which hasn't done much as of late. It's based on a manga that is pretty cool, based on it's done by the same creator as And Yet the Town Moves, which is a really funny show that's actually genuinely funny to me, and I really vibed with it. This is on Disney Plus, so who the hell knows when we're actually going to watch it, but it just had a really striking promotional image and just looks different. With no context, I'm going to say it's giving me Deno Coil vibes, just as a weird look at the world and how it could be with different technology, and it seems cool. Heavenly Delusion. I got high hopes for this one.
And I had it higher on my list, and yet you still got it.
Can you take me higher? You're up.
Okay.
To
Well,
a place.
To the place where Caroline's next.
okay, my number 3 pick is number 5 overall. Boku no Kokoro no Yabayatsu, or The Dangers in My Heart.
Oh
so
my
here
God.
we go into another murderous romance.
How? Why are there so many of these fucking anime?
Actually, from what I've heard, it's not exactly going to be as... I think it's supposed to be more lighthearted than what I would initially thought. Okay, so here's the synopsis. Kyotaro Ichikawa may look like your average middle school student, but in his heart, he dreams of murder. Thus, it is no surprise that the one that he wants to kill the most is never far off from his mind, the class idol, Ana Yamada. Reading alone in his beloved school library, he inadvertently begins to rendezvous with Yamada, who comes to secretly gorge on her beloved candies and sweets. Through their interactions, Ichikawa discovers just how much of a ditz Yamada is and can't help but support her from the sidelines. Meanwhile, Yamada herself can't help but tease Ichikawa relentlessly due to his flustered reactions. With an array of heartwarming daily interactions, the distant bond between the two grows into something more than just library acquaintances. Perhaps in time, Ichikawa will come to realize that his murderous desires have turned into something else entirely.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted this one, and I put it high on my list because I was looking forward to a serial killer anime who also falls in love. I wanted Hannibal. I wanted Dexter. I think that's what happens. I wanted Lucifer. All these kind of evildoers that kind of fall in love. Whatever. That's what I was kind of thinking about. But from what people have told me, he actually isn't as murderous as one might hope.
He's gonna murder something. That pussy! Oh!
What's worse, Caroline?
God!
That he's more murderous than you wanted, or less
I wanted more.
romantic?
I wanted him to kill someone by the end of
He's
this.
gonna kill that pussy.
Even though I'm sure it wouldn't have happened anyway. I'm hoping that this is a little bit more than just a silly little school romance. And that's kind of why I was hinging on this whole murder thing. I'm like, oh, that's something different. But from what I've heard, it's also, even if it's not exactly what I was expecting, it apparently is indeed good. So I'm hoping for the best. It's based off a manga, and it's being done by Shin-A Animation, who did Teasing Master Takagi-san, Pui Pui Mokar, Tonari no Seki-kun, and Doraemon. And it's by the same director as Teasing Master Takagi-san. So it could be, similar vibes to that. So, yeah, that is my number 3 pick.
All right, my number. I don't know. I'm out of order here. Death Mount Death. This anime's fucking not gonna pass. Just off the title alone. Dead Mount Death Play. What a horrible title. What does that even mean? Dead Mount.
That sounds like a fetish.
Sounds like a fucking bad
It does.
title. Sounds like a bad
Sounds
translation.
like a really gross fetish.
Let's see. By Studio Geek Toys, Manabu Ono, who did Sword Art Online, Alicization, World of the Underworld, and the Irregular Magic High School brings you Dead Mount Deathplay, the story of a showdown for the ages. As legendary hero takes on the corpse god Necromancer. But when the dust settles, something isn't quite right. In the final moments of their epic confrontation, the corpse god's final gambit shot was wholly unexpected. Reincarnation magic. I expected it. Did you expect it? I don't know.
No.
Every other anime that's come out in the last 14 years has all been about fucking reincarnation. So, I mean, geez, who the fuck could possibly be excited?
Who put this on their list?
Who could
should choose this?
Who would produce this? There's like the world is very wide open. You can make an anime about anything you want. You could have a basketball anime. You could have an anime about gardening. You could have an anime about a kid who wants to like go to the moon. You could have an anime about a kid who murders his sister. It could be anything. But instead, no. 400 isekai anime about the same goddamn fucking thing because there's no originality left in anime and the whole world fucking sucks. The end. It's true. Come on, we had 100 Marvel movies in the last 10 years. We're gonna try to act like entertainment's original. All right, across space and time, a boy named Polka Shinomiya awakens, feeling not quite himself. But who could have expected that the climactic battle between good and evil would turn out like this? So I watched. Obviously, it's an isekai. I watched the PV. It contained a boob plant, annoying goggle wearing hacker, aka fucking not Ed Elric, Ed. Just Ed, I guess.
Radical Ed.
Radical Ed. Reincarnation, black-haired protagonist, and I don't know. It just looks like the same ass shit you get from every other fucking isekai. I give it a 15% chance. Next. Oh, and Caroline would say, Mitz, the fuck is wrong with you? Why did I even marry you? Another black-haired isekai bullshit pick? Fuck you. That's what she would say.
Sure. Next up, we have Hell's Paradise. This is based on a pretty stylish, cool-looking manga. It tells the story of Gabimaru, who's one of the most vicious assassins ever. But thanks to a betrayal, he's on death's door because he did a crime. He did the bad, and he only has one chance to save himself. And he has to find this long-hidden elixir to make the shogun immortal. He's on this big, long mission to save the kingdom and save himself. And this is the MAPPA production of the season, along with them finishing up part 2 of Vinland Saga. And yeah, MAPPA needs no introduction. They've been killing it as of late. And this is airing on Netflix. And Hell's Paradise is interesting. It kind of strikes me as a mix of Jujutsu Kaisen and Dandadan. I read a few chapters of this years ago. I don't remember very much of it, but I remember it being very violent, very gory, and very cool. Based on the PV and some of the promotional images, it looks like they did with Chainsaw Man, kind of dialed back the exuberance and style just to make it easier to animate. That's my guess. I'm sure it'll still look solid and it'll be entertaining and just dumb fun that's hopefully a little more violent in its portrayal than your typical shonen fare. So, it could be good. It could be good. If it's not overly neutered, it'll be a bunch of fun. I really think it'll come down to how much the music slaps. If it does that, I think it'll be a fun time. If not, it'll seem a little lame. So, Hell's Paradise, probably going to be good. I'm excited for it.
All right. Well, my number 2 pick is number 3 overall, My Home Hero. So here's the plot. Tetsuo Tosu, an ordinary salaryman, discovers his daughter Reika has been physically abused by her boyfriend. Trying to learn more about him, Tetsuo uncovers that the boyfriend's scheme is to extort money from Reika's wealthy grandparents, and finds out that he's a member of a crime syndicate with a history of murdering his former girlfriends. Filled with rage and fear at the thought of Reika being in danger, Tetsuo ends up killing the boyfriend with the help of his wife, Kasen.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, murder and romance.
Is this the 5th murder romance anime you picked?
This is my season, Mitz. Okay,
Jesus,
so
This is the last season of this podcast.
So she
I'm just kidding.
successfully
Fuck.
So he and his wife successfully dispose of the body as well. Now, as the members of the syndicate begin to question Nobuto's, the boyfriend's, sudden disappearance, Tetsuo and Kasen must work together to ensure the safety of their daughter and prevent her from getting involved in the predicament any further. Does that not sound interesting, Mitz?
I'm texting Pancake right now. I'm saying this is the true crime season of anime.
I mean, based
We'll see
on
what she
that
says.
alone, the other ones are not really true crime. It's just there's something about murder involved in the plot lines of it. But this one is actual murder.
I am literally. I'm going to
am
report
so
to you
excited.
as soon as she responds. I will tell you what she says. It's probably going to be like, it's going to contain the F word. I know.
Well, please let me know. This is based on a manga.
She said, "quote fuck yeah," end quote.
Yeah, Pancake.
I was right. Oh my god, that's my girl.
So I am pretty excited for this one. It sounds something different. You know me and my true crime. I love it. And the fact that it's a man and wife murdering someone for their daughter's sake and then getting involved with the Yakuza, I am just okay. You got me. I have been captured. Let's watch this. So it's based on a manga, and it's being done by Tezuka Productions, who also did Dororo, Kids on the Slope, Quintessential Quintuplets Season 1, and Dear Brother, and a lot of other stuff. But just based on the fact that they've done Dororo, I am excited. So, yeah. Number 2 on the pick.
Well done. I appreciate it. Next up on my list is my final pick, and that is King's Ranking Yuki no Takarabako by Wit Studio, the same director as the first season of King's Ranking of Kings. I watched the trailer. It looks about the same as before. It looks a little more upbeat than the last season because, the last season was all like, everybody's sad, curses, and all this shit. And now it's all, everyone's happy. So we're going to see what happens with this. 75% chance of passing. We all pretty much know Ranking of Kings is the biggest anime of the season. As someone was going to pick it.
But I can't remember. Is it confirmed a full season or is it just a special?
I don't know. It's listed on my anime list with the rest of the anime that have a full season. So I'm going to assume it's a full season. If it was like a special, they'd have it down with the specials. So maybe they're wrong. Maybe they're wrong, but they do separate anime based on what kind of content they are. So I hope it's a full season because Ranking of Kings is dope. I can go for more Boji.
It's
Twitch
kind of
is
strange
saying,
how that is not like we are not 100% sure if it's a second season.
Twitch is saying that it's 10 episodes. And,
okay.
And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Ranking of Kings Season 2.
Yahoo!
Yahoo!
Woo!
Yeah, my number one pick is Oshi no Ko, which is a show that I will talk very little about because this is a show best served with no expectations. That's a little bit of Idol, a little bit of reincarnation. It's just a wild show that has some murder, Caroline.
Yeah!
Has some romance, probably. And it's just a dark underbelly look inside what it means to be an idol and the fans surrounding it. And it's just a weird show. I don't know. Just going blind. The first episode is actually a 90-minute broadcast just because, I don't know, they're just dropping it on us like that. And that's pretty cool.
Like
it will be on High Dive, so Mitsugi can applaud.
Oh, come on, bruh.
Based on a manga, I have it right there. I've read a fair bit of it. It's interesting, I'll give it that. The story is done by, I have to say the name because it's one of the best names in the industry.
Say it.
Aka Akasaka.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Great name. The guy who did all of Kaguya. So, a name you can trust, a name you can say. Say it. Say it with me. Aka Akasaka.
Aka Akasaka, motherfucker.
Nice. And it is done by Doga Kobo, who did a bunch of stuff from How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift, to Asteroid in Love, to Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. They have a very specific look. It's very bright and colorful. I think it will lend itself well to the show, even if I don't love all of their other works. Yeah, it's just a wild ride. It's going to be very popular. A lot of people are going to be talking about it. And I think whether I pass it or not, we're going to end up reviewing the show. So, Oshi no Ko, just get on episode 1 before people spoil it for you and just see if it's your cup of tea or not. So there we go.
All
Well,
right.
speaking of shows we'll probably review whether we pass it or not, my number one pick here is Kimi wa Hokago Insomnia, or Insomniacs After School, which I have heard a lot about, and it's part
Call
of the
the
reason
night.
why I put it so high on my list. Some people were really hyping this, so I hope they are right. So here's the synopsis. It all started with the death... Get it? Yeah. It's following the theme, people. It all started
We got
with
a
the
brand.
death...
We have a brand to maintain. I like it.
This is my season. Following the death of one of the I'm sorry. What? I can't even talk.
Today, Junior.
Let me start from the beginning. It all started with the death of one of the astronomy club's members. From this, the rumored ghost of the club came to life. Grumpy insomniac Ganta Nakami stumbles across the moderately rebellious yet easygoing Iseki Magari in the astronomy club's abandoned observatory. How do you have an abandoned observatory is beyond me, because those things cost bank. Like, how do you just abandon that? Anyway, Magari is jolted awake and tries to escape from the scene, only to have a broken door prevent that, forcing the two inside. The two forge an unlikely friendship, leading them to use the observatory as a safe space for them to interact. Kimi wa Hakugo Insomnia and follows in the Insomniacs Nakami and Magari's time in the Starlit Observatory as they help each other cope with insomnia and the lasting effects it has on student life. So, again, I've heard a lot of good things about this one. I, for one, am a big astronomy fan, so I hope that's going to play a part in it. And I like the stars and all that. But I think this might also be what I thought Call of the Night was going to be. So I'm hoping for an improvement on what my expectations were on that. This is based on a manga, and it's by Light and Films, who did the aforementioned Call of the Night. So they got practice. Tokyo Revengers and Kotaro Lives Alone. So I have, based on that, I have some good expectations going into it, and the hype will also give me some good expectations. So I hope that it's not too overhyped or anything.
All right. I couldn't help but notice that nobody picked Tonikaku Kawaii Season 2. How could this be?
Well, I never saw season 1.
It's a masterpiece. It's art. It's artistry. It's pure art.
Masterpiece.
Yeah, the master of disaster. Just kidding. It's gonna get picked by the listeners, though.
Oh God,
And there's nothing we
I
can
don't
do
want to
about
watch another season of something.
I mean, it is a weak season visually, but man, I don't think it's that weak.
I think we're about
Okay, let's
20 minutes
We are
past
done
time.
with impressions. That took a while, but I think that was really fun. So here we go into the in-show weekly trivia question. After being truck-cooned, how many years was Yosuke Ojisan Shibazaki, the uncle figure in the series, how long was he in a coma for? Didn't really sound right. Okay, news break time. Give us the answer. We'll give you the answer after this.
Hey, Anime Addicts, Mitsugi's here, and I'm bringing you your anime news break, getting us started off with a pretty fun story out of Japan. A new live-action show called Tokyo Dog Love Story is going to be coming out. It's going to star two fairly well-known actors and actresses here. It's going to star Tomokazu Sugita and Nana Mizuki, who previously worked together on Persona 5 as Yusuke Kitagawa and Ann Tamaki, respectively. So Sugita, who also voiced Gintoki in Gintama and Joseph Joestar in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, is voicing a common Shiba Inu who knows nothing of love. And Nana Mizuki, who voiced Fate Testarossa in Lyrical Nanoha and Hinata in Naruto, voices Marie, a celebrity chihuahua who meet at a dog park and instantly fall in love. So if you want to watch a silly dog love story anime, I mean, who doesn't? With some of your favorite voice actors and actresses, check out Tokyo Dog Love Story when it comes out, I assume, pretty soon. And next up, Kodansha is launching a K-manga distribution platform in the United States, a new manga distribution service that will be available exclusively on its smartphone app starting on May 10th. So it's going to have 400 titles when it launches, including 70 ongoing series, including Eden Zero, Blue Lock, and others. So it's also going to offer popular titles like the Seven Deadly Sins, Fire Force, Chihayafuru, and others. So the service will provide free manga chapters, with the amount of free manga that can be read per day being limited by and varying by the manga. So lots of free stuff on K-manga service by Kodansha. If you're a big manga reader, you may want to check it out and find out all there is to know about it. Next up in the news, a new anime coming out, Kami Eirabi, which I can only translate myself as the choice of God or something to that effect, by creator Yoko Taro of the Nier series. So this is very exciting stuff. You're going to want to hear more about that because he's sort of a wacko visionary type, by Studio Unend. So there's not a whole lot about the property that's known, at least based on this news article, but it is going to come out on Fuji TV's Plus Ultra programming block. Really, the big takeaway here is that Yoko Taro is the original creator. Next up, the original TV anime Metallic Rogue announced for, yes, you're going to be waiting a while, Winter 2024. Fuji TV has announced this way in advance, also on Fuji TV's Plus Ultra programming block, done by Studio Bones. So looks like it could be sort of a mecha, humanoid type mecha, maybe I don't know, I know nothing about this. There's a lot of mecha staff in the cast, so the girl on the cover is wearing like a powered bodysuit, so almost like a Bubblegum Crisis, but I have no idea if that's what it is about specifically, but it is an anime series commemorating the 25th anniversary of Studio Bones. So this was Mitsuki, and this was your anime news break, and now time to get back to the podcast.
Mitsuki's mom here. Before I shop on Amazon, I like to give Jeff Bezos the big fuck you by going to www.supporttheaddicts.com. I scroll down and click the link, and after that, everything I buy takes money out of Jeff Bezos' pocket and gives the podcast a royalty, because fuck him and yay anime. So remember, before you go to Amazon to shop, always stop at www.supporttheaddicts.com. Again, that's supporttheaddicts.com.
You know me? Of course!
Welcome back to the podcast. When we left you, we had an intro trivia question. After being truck-cooned, how many years was Yosuke Ojisan Shibazaki, the uncle figure in the series, in a coma? This is, of course, from the uncle from another world. The answer is 17 years, which is a long time to be in a coma.
Yeah,
So-
I'd say.
Yeah, probably very unlikely as well. I'd like to see some stats on how often people come out of a coma after 17 years.
I mean, there have been stories of people coming back after decades of being in a coma.
I bet it's like 1 in 1,000.
I mean, yeah, very, very, very low chance, but there are stories.
I'm going to look this up while we do our next segment, which is hot new releases. Let's hit it!
It's time for hot new anime releases.
Yeah, we got a ton. We got a ton of hot new anime releases, but we're gonna kind of blitz through them because of the sake of time. But the mix of Anime Japan, a big anime convention, as well as the current season ending, has brought forth a lot of news, a lot of sequels to stuff we already know. So we're gonna blitz through these, and if there's any that you're excited for, let us know. Obviously, no surprise. Start us off. My Hero Academia season 7. It's probably a little way off because season 6 is just now ending. But yeah, it's still trucking, and I have heard that season 6 was like really solid.
Yeah,
Definitely
me
a
too.
step
I
in
need
the
to
right
catch
direction.
up. I'm so many seasons behind.
I gave up a couple seasons ago. I'm like, I got it. I saw it at its highs, and it just felt like it was degrading a bit. But people said season 6 was bangers.
I like My Hero overall. Like, I think it's just like one of those fun shonens that I actually watch. So I do plan on getting back into it. But
fun? What's fun?
Oh, I know. But another thing that I'm excited for is the return of Horimiya. Oh, I love
God.
Horimiya.
It's back.
And it's not going to be a sequel per se, but Horimiya Peace, as it's being called. An anime will premiere this July, and it basically animates the stories from the original manga that the anime did not adapt. Like, the anime kind of truncated the manga to show the major plot points in one season, but there's a lot of side stories and more slice of life stuff that was in the original manga. And I personally still enjoyed the side plots and the side characters and all that. So I am so excited to see it animated.
I feel like this is not going to be like a great season by itself, but I feel like if you watched the season 1 and mixed this in, like integrated this one into it on like a rewatch, that would be like the best way to experience it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because all those side stories are what gives you the content and context behind the relationships that you should care about. So, good for Horimiya, folks. Next up, High Card Season 2. Greenlit, no release date, but hey, they're going to make more of it. Blue Lock Season 2. Greenlit, no release date, but hey, they're going to make more of it.
Why?
And,
wait a second. Why? This is so depressing to me.
Are they making more of these shows?
Blue Lock. I've seen 7 or 8 episodes of Blue Lock, and I'm like, this anime is bad, borderline bad, and I just... Now I know that now you have basically told me that season 1 has no conclusion. So now I'm basically like, so now I know I'm gonna watch 24 episodes of this fucking shit, and at the end of it all, they're only gonna be halfway eliminating people. For God's sake, people!
Now, don't get too excited, Mitsugi.
No.
Our review of this
I have another empty
week.
can of soda here, and I'll
and
throw
I
it.
get to skip out on it. Yeah.
Literally, like. What the fuck was the anime called? Squid Game, and it, like they resolved the Squid Game within like 8 episodes in that TV show. But I gotta wait 50 goddamn episodes for the end of some fucking meaningless soccer elimination show. God, just put a gun into my head. End it.
I don't know. I've heard that even people who weren't really sure about Blue Lock did finish it and liked it by the end.
I don't
so maybe
care.
it gets better.
This is like
when do we tell them that there's also a movie coming out?
Oh boy.
God.
All right. Well, I did. Mason, do you know anything about this next one?
Blue balls.
Uko, The Inner Chambers. It's a pretty cool manga that I've heard about for a while. I think it's a movie, and it's coming out sometime 2023, according to Netflix. There have been a couple live actions already, so looks cool. I like movies. I'll watch movies as long as they're not Suzume. Next up,
fuck!
I am surprised by this one,
hot
actually.
And spicy, just like his mom chilies.
This next one is going to sound very confusing when I read it out, but I promise I am telling you the truth.
You must
Devil
be
is
kidding.
a Part-Timer Season 2. Which you think we already had, but no, it's new Devil is a Part-Timer. It's the sequel.
It's not Devil is a Part-Timer. It's Devil is a Part-Timer!
Yeah, with more exclamation marks. Season 2. So all you need to know, more Devil is a Part-Timer is finally coming out.
Are you saying the Devil is a Part-Timer wasn't already a season 2? It was a season 1 of a sequel?
I don't know.
The naming,
but it's coming out next season.
God.
The naming situation will be even more confusing than Attack on Titan at some point. Though I am very surprised that they got a third season. I don't care
Jesus
what this
Christ.
is. It's a third season. Just
This-
call it season 3. Jeez Louise.
This list of new releases is making me lose hope.
Well, this next one I've heard plenty of good things about it,
God.
much to Mitsugi's chagrin. I mean, if you're agreeing with Mitsugi, that's never a good sign. But we have Trigun Stampede Final Phase. Once again, greenlit, no release date yet. Not sure what it entails, but more Trigun Stampede. I have not watched
Why?
a single episode of the show,
What
and
in
I'm
the
excited.
fuck?
Because Studio Orange is cool, and I trust them with my life.
God. Oh my god.
Next up, we have Kamirebai. Kamirebai? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. but Yoko-
Robbie?
Kami Irabi basically translates to God's
Kami-Irabi.
choice.
There we go.
I put this
And,
on the list for you, Mason.
Yeah, Yoko Taro, the guy who did Nier, said it's a very based story, even though he didn't know how Translate works. It's awesome. I don't know anything about it, but Yoko Taro, if his name is on it, I will give it a shot, for sure.
Ugly CG. Twitch has made a comment that Trigun is ugly CG. How can you have a Trigun anime that why break this into 2 parts? Why is it that we have a list of hot new releases and not a single one of these is going to be some like unique creative spark? And you get 50 anime a season and you're lucky if 2 of them sniff
Because
anything
we're talking
original.
about sequels.
I know, but
I
it's
mean,
like,
we're only excited about them because most of them are sequels to things.
Yeah, like there was some
Yeah.
like first name stuff that came out, and I was just like, "That's cool, I'm excited," but that's not good. People aren't going to get wowza razzle dazzled. Like for example, ReZero Season 3 is coming out.
whatever.
Not for a while, my guess, but like that gets people going. They're like, "Oh, Pog!" They do the face and everything, and they're like, "Oh, it's the show I like," and I'm like, "Yeah, good for you. That's awesome." But I'm like, "Oh, this no-name show that like doesn't have a great manga is coming out." People are like, "Ah, okay, I'll maybe check it out if I have time," and then they don't. But
And we're also not really, we don't really read a lot of manga, so we wouldn't know if a manga is like really highly regarded, usually. So
You know, I was going to go on this rant about how nothing in entertainment is original anymore, but since we're running so long, I'm just going to skip the rant.
oh, good. Okay,
I'm
let's
good.
get to the mailbags.
yeah,
Oh, you guys are like, fuck me, fuck
It's time
you.
for an almighty anime
rant all the
mailbag.
Someone's got to.
Anime. Anime. Anime.
Mailbag.
If you would like to submit a mailbag, you can do so at aaapodcast.com. Click the mailbag button and send us any question or conversation starter that you would like, just like Godspeed Zorro. So they say, "Hey, anime addicts, I really enjoyed the content and thought it was about time I submit my first mailbag. So my question is, what are some shows that you really enjoy despite being from genres that you usually aren't a fan of? For example, I'm generally not a fan of idols, but Zombieland Saga turned out to be one of my favorite series. Thanks for the great podcast, and thanks for making my anime addiction worse. You're welcome." Mitsuki.
Well, my least favorite genres are slice of life because they just don't do anything, in my opinion. And however, there are some great slice of life anime. Azumanga Daioh might be considered slice of life, maybe a slice of life comedy. All-time classic, just goofy as fuck, funny anime. Hanasaku Iroha is a really great anime about a girl who works at an onsen. That's a pretty solid show. And Shido Bako has an extremely bangable foursome of girls that are out of school, so they're legal for once. They're not lolies. Don't make a face at me. Don't make a face at me, Caroline.
Why
Okay?
is that a priority for you, though?
I don't know. Because at least we're not looting fucking 9-year-olds.
Well, anyway, Mason,
There you
what
go.
do you got?
I feel like genres are like music genres. Like I feel like every thing has something that you can enjoy in it. So I would never like outright dismiss anything. That said, I tend not to like isekai shows or ecchi shows, but I did enjoy No Game No Life. I think that was fun and a breath of fresh air at the time. And you know, I'm not super into video game works or anything, but I did enjoy season 1 of The King's Avatar. That was a pretty fun. Dude is really good at video games and just obliterates people, and you just have fun watching him do it. So, yeah, I guess those are my 2.
All right. Well, mine, it comes to no surprise. My least favorite is also ecchi. But I do love Food Wars. I think it's so fun. Even with like the amount of, naked people and sexual references and all that. It's just fun. I like the Food Network. So seeing good food makes me happy. And also, I really jobless reincarnation despite the grossness involved. And honestly, it's not even that ecchi. It's just gross. Sometimes it's just perverted. But yeah, those are some really good shows I enjoy, even despite it. And that is
Okay.
mailbag.
All right, that's it for the mailbag.
Review time.
Well, you know what, guys? We got about enough time for half a review. And to be frank with you, they gave us half an anime, so that's pretty much only fair. So, Uncle from Another World. This is a summer 2022 anime, the last anime from summer 2022. We've been waiting for a while because I guess we were hoping this one would, wrap up, but apparently it never will. Why is that? Does anybody know?
No, it's finished. It's just not on Netflix.
Well, there's a lot of COVID production delays.
Well, I didn't watch anything that wasn't on Netflix, so anyway, I'm going to assume they did literally nothing with it anyway. So this was a listener choice anime. I did my best to fail it, but for some reason you guys voted for it. We're never going to learn, why vote for anime that we don't already like. You're just going to get a shitty review.
No, they like it when we shit on things.
Well, that's what they're going to get. So it's on Netflix. After a fatal encounter with a truck, God, Ojisan Shibazaki, who, by the way, it's very rare, according to WebMD, for a coma to last for more than 4 weeks. So the fact that he was in a coma for 17 years is probably impossible. So,
no,
but it's also very rare that you are transported into a video game. So between the two, I think the coma is more likely.
If it's very rare for you to be in a coma for more than 4 weeks, it's probably nearly unheard of to be in a coma for 17 years.
Somebody was in a coma for 37 years and 111 days.
And somebody was born with 43 penises, but that doesn't happen more than once in 100 years.
It only needs to happen once.
This is the same conversation.
It only needs to happen once.
Story of Uncle.
These are the kind of conversations that make me want to bash my head into a wall until my
you can't say that it could never happen when it has happened.
Almost nothing in life is impossible. But if we talk
exactly, so don't say it's impossible.
But if we talk in terms, I didn't say it was impossible. I said it was nearly unheard of. If we talk in terms of what isn't possible, then nearly everything is possible. But this is like when my mom says, "Oh, don't feed your cat bacon. They're gonna get some random disease that is." I'm like, "Mom, the cats will eat dead squirrels if I let them." Anyway, we're off track.
A wise man named Kevin Garnett once told me that anything is possible.
I talk in probability. It is very improbable that you're going to be in a coma for 17 years. If you're going to be in a coma for a year, you're probably going to be in a coma forever. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. This anime is whatever. When he finally regains consciousness, he begins to ramble in a foreign tongue and reveals that he has been transported to a magical world called Bran Bahamol. Takafumi dismisses his uncle's claims as nonsense until an incantation makes a cup of water hover in the air. In a flash of brilliance, the pair creates a YouTube channel to showcase his magical abilities. The responsibility now falls on Takafumi's shoulders to acquaint the Ojisan, or the uncle, with everything that has transpired during his absence, including getting him up to speed on the internet, new technology, the outcome of the 90s console war, the result of which especially distressing for a hardcore Sega fan because, the Sega Genesis did okay, but not that well, etc. By director Shigeki Kawai, by Studio Atelier, Pondark brings you an anime based on a manga. Caroline, what were your expectations going into Uncle from Another World?
Well, I heard a lot of people hyping it up, especially on our Discord, but I also heard a lot of people vehemently despising it. Itsuki.
This is fucking... All right. Okay. We'll get to it.
I was going in expecting to like it a little bit more than some of my co-hosts. And yet, I also expected to not see anything exceptional. So I was expecting middle-of-the-road stuff here.
And how about you, Mason? Do you feel the same way, or do you have a different thought?
Yeah, this was a show I was not following at all. I saw people on the Discord liked it. I saw people on the Discord thought that Mitz would like it. Mitz did not like it. And I'm
They
like,
were
well,
wrong.
I have no expectation then. I will come into the show completely blind, and that's what I did.
Mitz.
Honestly, I watched nearly everything that was on Netflix already, so I pretty much knew. I mean, Jesus, I only had to watch this for like 40 minutes to catch up. I knew I wasn't gonna like this anime. I was right, and you know, like small references to Sega Genesis is not enough to pull me into the fold. I mean, I do love Sonic. I did grow up playing Golden Axe, but that doesn't mean that I want to watch some highly unlikable character do virtually anything. Caroline, would you recommend this anime to other people?
It's just an okay anime for me, and it's certainly not a good binge. Like I did end up watching all the episodes. They had 13 episodes, except like half of them are only on Netflix. And so I had to use my own magic to watch the episodes that are not otherwise legally available. Magic is what I used, by the way. So overall, it's just okay. And it was not fun to watch all 13 in 1 week because nothing really happens in it. It's not like incredibly entertaining. There are better comedies, there are better isekais out there. And the good news is, if you only try one episode, you will figure out very clearly if it's for you or not. And luckily, it's available on Netflix, so it's very easy to get to. So I will leave it at that. I can't recommend the entire series, but I would recommend just one episode.
Mason,
and you could take your pick on which one.
do you feel the same way? How do you feel about this anime?
I would mostly agree with Caroline. I was actually very pleasantly surprised and endeared to it in episode 1. I thought it was very sly with its comedic twists. The dialogue was pretty funny, and the way it subverted my expectations in a lot of ways, I was like, oh, I'm really enjoying the show. But as it went on, it became kind of a mixed bag rom-com because the comedy is very much based on the denseness of the characters, and there's 2 of them, and they both kind of fall into the same trap over and over. And it was just a mix of some scenes I found genuinely funny and hilarious, and some others just numbingly boring because it was pretty much a react video where these characters watch another character be cringe sometimes or just be very dense. And it was really hit or miss for me. So overall,
there were some good funny moments, but it wasn't enough.
Some absolutely fantastic moments that I did enjoy. I would say if you aren't vibing with it past like the 3rd episode, it doesn't change up the formula. It's not going to change your mind. And I thought it got worse for the most part as it wears on. So it's a very mixed bag. Pretty much what Caroline said. If you dig the first couple episodes, sure, keep on watching, but it's not like a must watch where you're going to miss out on a crucial show. And honestly, I started watching Blue Lock for our review next week because it's 24 episodes.
Oh my God.
And watching just a couple episodes of that, I'm trying to now remember what happened 2 days ago watching this show, and I'm like, yeah, I remember generally what happened, but not like plot. Like it's already fading from my mind. So it's a fine comedy at times, but that's not enough to really sell you on it. So
is Blue Lock dubbed?
I don't know if it's all the way dubbed because it just finished, but I think a sizable part of it is probably dubbed.
Okay, so Uncle in Another World is... Man,
Brace yourself.
This anime is fucking bad. I mean, it's fucking bad. It's so dry. This anime is basically... If you think an isekai anime is run-of-the-mill and boring because it's always the same like magical hero horse shit, wait until you watch a guy with like mirrored like nerd glasses sitting around a table talking to you about what happened in an isekai world for 4 fucking hours, and no one gives a rat's fucking ass because the story in the isekai world is never even for one moment interesting, and then with random spurts of like, oh, remember that time that we played Centipede on the Sega? Like, this anime is horrendous. oh my good God, I can't even believe that I'm going to basically just bury an anime that is so obsessed with the Sega Genesis. For a person who loves Sonic the Hedgehog more than anybody else, for a person who would listen to the Golden Axe soundtrack while he programs at work because he's a fucking nerd, this anime is so dry and humorless. Whatever humor this anime does have misses the mark terrifically for me. I am not even in the same ballpark. Like, I was standing in left field, and this anime hit its comedy to right field, and there ain't no one home. And it's just not good at all. And the main character is so insufferably terrible. And the only thing worse than watching like a hikikomori style nerd character like exist in an anime is watching a Hikiko style nerd character exist who doesn't know anything about modern day. So you have like Encino Man waking up and all he talks about is like, you know, why some fucking game that no one has ever heard of didn't get a sequel for fucking 13 episodes. So yeah, there's absolutely no way. People, if I recommended this to people, they would literally look at me the next day like I was out of my goddamn mind after they watched it. They'd be like, you recommended this? This is what you like? And then they would just delete me off their phone and never talk to me again because this anime is some dry-ass, boring bullshit. I told you I was spicy today.
Yeah?
It's not good.
You know what I totally forgot to do? I totally forgot to do my Isekai trope bingo card.
You wouldn't hit it because this anime is about a nerd who sits around a fucking table and talks about some shit that happened in an Isekai world, but it's the most boring Isekai world we've ever seen, even worse than Realist Hero.
Those are tropes. It doesn't mean it's not filled with Isekai tropes.
Oh, the girl's ice sword. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? No one. I can't believe this anime. What does this anime have on Mal? Like an 8.5? How? How in the name of God does this anime have a better score than like 12 Kingdoms? It doesn't. It's beyond my understanding. I can't fabricate it in my mind.
All right, just give me a couple seconds. I need to fill this out first.
And you're all going to give it less than a 3. So let's just move on to spoilers so we can get it over with.
Honestly, there are no spoilers to speak of, really.
Well, that's not really saying much for the show. If a show has no spoilers, it means it has no narrative, which means that it sucks. So, Mason, what do you got?
I'm really not happy.
I feel like I want to give it some positives, and really, there's a couple comedic moments that I thought landed. Besides that, as you mentioned, there's no message, there's no plot. Like, the show doesn't have much to say, which means all that's left is the characters and the comedy. And the only thing the characters show you is that seeing when people are interested in you romantically is sometimes difficult, because all the male characters suffer from this. That's it. And all that's left then is the comedy, which, if it doesn't land for you, the show has nothing left. It doesn't have visual presentation. It doesn't have, like, recurring gags. It's just very samey. Each episode feels very monotonous. And that's not even before the final stretch where it tries to actually get into what happened in the Isekai world, which is even more boring and drawn out than the real world. Like, every time they were showing scenes of the Isekai world, I was more disengaged than ever.
Really? Because I preferred the Isekai world than the real world.
Show.
I'm not saying it's great, but I preferred the Isekai world, definitely.
I just feel like they got to the end too early, and they're like, how can we draw out this big boss fight for as long as possible by having characters just talk in front of it and do this whole retrospective series? Like, they just had to kill time, is what it felt like. And
well,
I guess the Isekai world was never funny to me. It was just a harem show where people were dense. Whereas the real world, they would say, wow, look how dense you were. Yep, you sure are dense.
Well, but let me ask you a question. If you're having a boss fight in a dungeon that they draw out, apparently, I thought this anime only had 7 episodes, but apparently it gets worse as it goes on, so I'm glad I didn't watch it all.
Actually, I kind of liked the ending episodes more than the middle ones.
Well,
for me.
If they have a boss fight, and the man who's telling the story of the boss fight is sitting right there at the table with you, doesn't that kind of give away the outcome? Like, you
already know any isekai character is not going to die at a boss fight.
Well, that's a problem.
You already know that.
That's also a huge problem, you know?
Well, yeah, but like, you're not going to kill off the main character in a boss fight.
I'd like to watch this character die. What's his name? Let me look it up. I'm just looking his name up.
Ojisan.
Ojisan, mirrored glasses, hyper, like,
I didn't mind
oppressively
him as a
nerdy.
character.
You didn't mind him?
He was a bit annoying.
He's
at
like
times.
one of my least favorite characters of that I can coherently remember. Period.
Like, sometimes he was a little funny to me. Like, the fact that he is so astute to his nephew's, like
Romantic.
complete,
Yeah.
like his romantic situations, even though he himself is extraordinarily dense in romance stuff. I thought that was kind of funny irony a little bit. Sometimes I liked some of his interactions with like the people in the other world. I liked Elf really. Like I think she was my favorite character.
I just felt bad for them having to deal with him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too.
I think she's just a funny tsundere, and I don't understand why she likes him so much. I don't understand why all these girls like
Because it's an isekai, Caroline.
I know. You don't have to tell me. I'm just talking in world. I'm not sure why, but she is pretty funny in the way that she handles things. Yeah.
I think what I disliked the most about Uncle wasn't his obsession with Sega, but when they would say like such and such sad news happened to Sega, he would just go
And then he makes the most disgusting face, and I'm like, oh god, it's not funny.
Like I like when he walks and the truck goes by and he's fine coming out the other side, or he is like, oh my goodness, Sonic, my favorite, and it's like a big lumpy regular hedgehog. Like those are how you convey he liked Sonic and he was disappointed or something like that. That's how you subvert tropes. Not, oh, sad thing, I make funny sound. Like, no, that did not impact me personally. And that's how comedy works if that's all you have working for you.
I just like, it seems to me that 90% of this anime took place in his fucking like apartment.
Yeah.
And it's pretty hard to make a show land like that. I mean, even in like real life, you'll see movies with, I watched a movie not that long ago with, oh my God, the guy from Donnie Darko. I can never remember his name. Jake Gyllenhaal. And he's like a 911 operator for the entire movie. And it's like the whole movie is just watching him talk on the phone. Well, that doesn't do a great deal of like, it doesn't do a lot of service for them towards the movie. Like,
there's this one movie with like Ryan Reynolds,
Buried.
and Buried. It takes place in a casket for like the entirety of the movie.
God,
He's buried alive.
It's a good movie.
It's insane. It's so scary, but it's good.
A movie with Ryan
and it
Reynolds
takes place
is
in one
scary.
place. What?
A movie with Ryan Reynolds is scary.
No, but he's buried alive, Mitzi.
You're claustrophobic in this.
It seems such a weird movie to even have Ryan Reynolds in. Like, did they show his face? Is he in pitch darkness the whole movie?
No, he has tools in there. Like basically, he's held for ransom and he's buried alive. And they give him like a lighter, they flashlight, or something like that. And I'm like, every single time he pulls out that lighter, I'm like, shut it out! You're gonna lose oxygen that way.
Is this like some like James Bond villain failed like murder attempt? Like, oh, we're gonna put you in a casket.
He's a truck driver in like I forget where, Afghanistan or Syria or something like he's like a truck driver for the war effort, and he's basically taken as a prisoner of war, buried alive. You should watch it. So you might like it.
So I'm gonna bury you alive, but I'm gonna give you a jackhammer and a shovel so you can dig your way out.
No, like they don't give him a lot of tools. Him. They give him like bare basic stuff. They don't give him tools. He's just held for ransom.
The guy from Ojisan, Uncle, whatever the fuck he reminds me of those people at like Magic the Gathering card shops where I used to hang out, where they'd be like, I tap 3 lands and I play I play trample on my Goblin Warlord, and he just like that's him for the whole show. And I love
that he was sold for like 30 cents, wasn't he?
No, less, 30 sen, not 30 yen. So like,
no, I said 30 cents.
Yeah, I know, but like
in response to you playing your spell card, I'm gonna tap two islands and play a counter spell.
Like sometimes they do funny things with him, but he's not a funny character.
No, he's not. He's terrible. Like I honestly like this show. All right, it only has a 7.9, which it crashed hard since like the middle of it. To be honest, because this show was definitely above an 8 for most of his run. But what is the appeal to this show? Like I just don't understand why this show would be appealing. Like Can you please
I don't
tell
know.
me what it is that I'm missing? 'Cause maybe
I
I
do
am
think
missing
it's
it.
The
sort of
humor
mid.
works for some people.
The humor is okay.
I think some people like the humor. Think some people like the harem, the collection of girls that he has somehow have following him. Like I think
I
they like
mean,
that mix. I
I
don't
could
get
have
it.
done with a little less of the coincidental sex positions.
Yeah,
I
I
did not
noticed
count
that.
how many there were. There were probably like 6 instances of like sex positions where they were not having sex. And I'm thinking to myself, this is so much. This is too much. I already
They're
don't like this period,
squeezing
but they
those
had
feet.
so
And
many of them. Like, good God. There was one episode. I forget which episode it was in, but oh yeah, the one where he gives a massage to Elf, and she's in that weird sex position, and then they end the episode with like a little, like a cutesy song. I can't remember if it was the ED or if it was just the ending of the episode itself, but it was something cute. It was something lighthearted, and then in the ending, still frame at the end of the episode, they go back to her in the sex position. And I'm thinking to myself, was that intentional to go from this cute thing to that?
Elf is pretty hot. I would hit it.
That itself was kind of funny.
I would definitely hit it. I would hit it hard.
She is cool. I like her. And I like her sniping laser beam.
The voice actress is also fairly cute. Never mind, very cute. Take it back, revision.
But to be honest, almost every single character is toxic AF. Like, you got the like Takafumi was surprisingly toxic, like stalker, obsessive boyfriend type. Then you got his childhood friend who is also especially from childhood, really just not a good person.
Bully.
And
No,
then you
I
have
did like
Elf.
some of her moments. Like she was the best character of the modern era. Like when they were
yeah.
getting into like a dirty scene, and she'd be like,
Yes.
"Spirits, listen to me. We're all adults here.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to show, we're all legal age. You can go for it. Let's make it happen. Let's get some sauciness on screen."
Overall,
Like,
I didn't mind her too much, but she's still toxic. And then let's not even get started with her younger brother, who's apparently like 12 years old, but he looks like he started smoking 17 years ago. Yeah, that was weird. And then all the characters in like the female characters in the isekai world are toxic too.
Speaking of toxic,
wasn't an
I just
interesting
thought of a
world.
topic for a hentai episode. I literally,
What? Do tell.
I literally Googled. You want me to tell you? I literally
Sure,
did.
go
I
ahead.
literally Googled Elf's voice actress's name, right? And I went to image search, and I should not have done that. There is. So the game is Google anime voice actresses and see what the images look like, because this one is intense hardcore porn. I assume it's just some random
Why?
other because it's just a coincidence that this voice actress is named has the same name as some other girl who's done like, just very hardcore porno, I guess, because I googled the name alone and tons of porn came up. So you pick your favorite voice actresses and actors and see if their names elicit porn from Google. That's the game. In this
Sounds
case,
like
I win.
a great game.
you hit the jackpot. No need to
I
play
did.
it now. Are we ready to score this thing?
Damn, we
I
barely even
think
talked
I've
about it.
said
But
everything.
We're running kind
I
of
mean,
late.
what else is there to talk about, really?
I have no idea, honestly. I would have preferred if this game was like, if this anime was where the Ojisan is in a coma, and so he spends his whole coma in the world of his favorite video game. So he's like hanging out with Sonic, or he's hanging out with the characters from Golden Axe, or he's hanging out with Mickey Mouse in the Castle of Illusions, or whatever, these like famous Sega games. That would have been way better than
Wreck-It Ralph, but isekai.
But instead, they fabricate some like hyper generic, uninteresting isekai world to walk you through in the third person, which is extra bad, and ultimately land you in an anime that is somewhat different than other isekai shows, but in the end is not that original. I strongly dislike this anime. I was dreading watching it all week. It was especially made hard by the fact that Resident Evil 4 Remake came out, which is at least 2 million, let's see, hyaku oku % more interesting than this anime. I'm giving this anime 1.5 Brogan Sega cartridges that you got to blow into to get him to play out of 5. Which I never saw him do in this anime, which is a travesty. Did he do that? I didn't see it.
What?
Everybody knows that anybody who's ever owned a Sega knows that when your cartridge doesn't work, you got to go and blow into it to get it to work. But that never happened in this anime that I saw, which is very.
I did learn about the warning messages though. That was kind of interesting.
1.5.
And once again, you give yourself a buffer on these scores. I do think you could have done lower. I guess I'll go next.
To me, there's nothing lower than a 1. I don't give lower than that, and I've given 0.5s. I've never done that, and to me, if it's a 1, it must be like a show that I nearly ended the podcast to watch. And this one's not quite that bad, but it's no
listeners.
But it had no redeeming. This is worse than listeners. I'd rather watch listeners than this.
Gave listeners a 1.
X-Arm?
I'd rather watch X-Arm.
Wow.
Come on.
Okay.
Over or under, Dan. Throw another one at me.
I mean, you're saying over because you gave them that higher
do it
score.
yourself.
I'd rather watch Do It Yourself 3 times than watch this anime.
That's
Blood Blockade Battlefront.
I'd rather watch Blood Blockade Battlefront. Well, no, I take it back. I take it back. That's the worst anime I've ever seen.
Really?
I can't.
Okay, I'll go next. Overall, I wouldn't say this is the worst show I've ever seen, because there have been plenty worse than this, I have to say. I'm not one to hate a lot of, slice of lives and everything like that. So having a slower show like this, it's not my favorite, because it wasn't really it wasn't funny enough. I didn't like the characters enough, yada, yada, yada. So it wasn't my favorite, but I could see not so many horrible things as Mitsuki did. I did like some of the last few episodes in the Isekai world, because that was my preference. Eventually, they get all of the side characters that you met in the Isekai world, and they fight the final boss, which, you know what, with all the characters interacting with each other, I didn't mind. I like, a little bit more variety when it came to it. So honestly, was not that bad. There were a lot of things I would have wanted to be improved in this show, and definitely was not one of my favorites. And I was kind of going back and forth between my score, but I think I'll give this a 2 out of 5. I was thinking between a 2 and a 2.5, but I'll go 2 out of 5 several sex positions.
Gosh. Several. It is more fun with several.
I, once again, am pretty much just going to echo Caroline, this review. I think it had, like I said, some genuinely funny moments, and I get the appeal of the show for some people. That said, it missed most of the comedy for me, and the world wasn't interesting, the plot wasn't interesting, the characters were just too dense to really get behind, and those couple moments where it shined weren't really enough for me to be all in on it. As the characters say themselves, I'm giving the show 2. I should have eaten fried chicken instead of watching the show. Out of 5.
Fried chicken in Japan's not even good. You ever had it in Japan?
No.
It's the most gristly, tendon-filled, just Jesus. Karaage is a fail.
Would you rather eat karaage than watch this show?
Yeah, definitely.
Karaage is
all right.
great. At least over here.
There you have it. I apologize to everyone we have angered with this review, but that's just how it is.
Literally nobody cares. Honestly, this show didn't even finish.
A lot of people did like this show, actually.
Well, I mean, a lot
Perfect
of people...
following the heels of making people upset with our DIY review.
I mean...
Wait, Mason, what score did you give it again?
A 2.
Okay. I just want to see where we fell. So there you have it. And if you want to roast us for our poor taste in anime, you can go do that on Twitter, but please don't.
I really think
AAA podcast.
I really think people that are diverging from our opinions are just people that have watched anime for about 6 months, and they aren't. They haven't seen the same anime story 97 times. So, I mean, that's pretty much like,
each their own.
DIY. I've seen at least 63 anime that are just like that one. I mean, every other cute girl doing cute thing anime that's ever been made, which is a whole lot. So,
to each their own. You can also follow us on Facebook.
I'm digging myself deeper in the hole. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do it at AAA Podcast.
I already did that. This
is my job. See, the closing thing is in pink on the outline, but it's not supposed to be in pink. It should be in green. So I'm gonna.
Oh
fix
wow!
That.
How was I supposed to know that?
I don't know. Facebook.
Okay,
can
you
go
do
to-
it again.
You can go to Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook.
Do it to yourself.
Listen, honestly, you can find us on any of these services because you just type our name in. I don't need to give you the exact address because that's what a Rube would do. That's slug brain stuff, right, Mason? So if you want to really follow us, you can go on Discord, AAADiscord.com, because that is the really the place to be. I give you our TikTok address, but that's going to get banned soon anyway. So
At the Addicts, and maybe I'll download the videos just in case and put them on Instagram or something.
this was a fun episode. It was a little off the rails. I hope. What are we reviewing next week?
You know what it is.
Oh my God, Blue Lock. Well, Blue Lock will at least it'll at least have good pacing. See, I never even mentioned the pacing with the Ojisan show, but it had none of that. So that was a big problem. So again, if you want to support the podcast, aaapodcast.com/join. And if you want to write us hate mail because you didn't think our review of Uncle Ojisan Isekai was very good, you can send it to aamitsugi@gmail.com. I'll field all of your hate mail so that my hosts don't have to. And go fuck yourself, San Diego. I love you very much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The words and expressions from Mitsuki are not
not
shared.
I'm not
by-
representative of the thoughts of the
all
host of
those
this
on the
podcast.
Yeah.
All rights
Bye.
reserved.
I won't see you for 2
Press,
weeks.
this is-
So have a nice next 2 weeks.
Rebroadcast this is property of MLB baseball and its associates.